It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide.
Welcome to Jack. I see none of your friends wanted to play this evening, so you figured you'd just get in touch with old Schmitty. Well, thanks. Makes me feel really important. Since it's just the two of us tonight, please feel free to let me know what's on your mind, because I certainly will.
One.
Coming at you, left out in the Cold War. How does $2,000 sound? Boy, oh boy, is it chilly in here, or is it just me? No, it's the Cold War episode, silly. All about them commies. You remember what a commie is, don't you? Why, they're those nefarious folks from the Soviet Union who wanted to take over the world, I tell you, take over the world! Based on the name of the U.S. policy toward the Soviet Union's expansionism in the 1950s, what would you expect the United States to do to the Soviets? Hang them from a glass ceiling, push them through an open door, freeze them in an ice cube tray, or lure them into a Tupperware container. Hey, there's an open door. Careful it doesn't hit you in the ass on your way out. Does this ring a bell? The U.S. plan to limit Soviet influence back in the 50s was called containment.
General, Plan A didn't work.
Damn! Bring on Plan B, the pleated Ziploc baggies.
2.
Up next, the Common Cold War. $1,000 if you get it. Eyes forward, we're going. If you were to wage a Cold War against the common cold, on what would you be spying? Viruses, bacteria, toxins, or cold fairies? Colds are caused by viruses.
What's going on there, Agent 12?
How the hell should I know? I can't see them. Great, now I'm sick.
3.
Here's a little something I call better dull than red. $2,000 for a correct answer. Okay, free your mind. Which of these is not a dull fact about staunch anti-communist John Foster Dulles? He became vice president in 1959. He had 2 secretaries of state in his family. Oh gosh, excuse me. He helped negotiate a treaty with Japan, or he wrote books about international relations. No, he did this, and in each book, the butler did it. Oops, sorry. The correct answer is, he never became a vice president. In 1959, he died.
I did no such thing.
Yes, you did, Mr. Dulles, which doesn't necessarily preclude him from carrying out the duties of the job.
Are you implying the American political system is not the best in the world? Are you some kind of communist, young man?
No, sir, Mr. Dulles. No, sir.
Well, that's good. Did I mention my favorite color is gray?
No, you hadn't mentioned that.
It's true.
Oh.
4.
The category is, I'm getting annoyed. I got $2,000, says you don't know this one. Pencils ready. Let's do it. If the domino theory applied to Domino's pizza delivery, which statement would be the most accurate? If pepperoni is free, sausage will cost extra. The more you like pizza, the less you eat it. If one is late, all pizzas will soon follow suit. Or Pizza Hut must not be allowed to deliver. That's the way you do it. The domino theory held that should Vietnam fall to the communists, the rest of Southeast Asia would fall in 30 minutes or less.
5.
This category is chilling Soviet leaders, and this one's going to be worth $2,000.
Did you know I like talking on the telephone?
No, Mr. Dulles, I hadn't heard that.
Communist.
Anyway, if you were to practice the Soviet policies of glasnost and perestroika on your refrigerator, what would you most likely do? Seal it off and kill all who approach it. Open it and reorganize it, sing about it constantly, or support it even though it doesn't exist. No. Why didn't you pick this one? Glasnost means openness, perestroika means restructuring. These policies helped end the Cold War. Hey, and while you're in there, clean out those old Tupperware containers, will you? They smell like Bolshevik. Well, open your eyes. Looks like we're about to enjoy a When Did Happen. Okay, now I'm going to show you an event like this. Then I'm going to give you 7 other events, like this one. For each one, you gotta tell me if it happened before man first walked on the moon, after the moonwalk, or if it never happened at all. Buzz in when the correct answer is lit, you get $1,000. But of course, if you're wrong, I'll take 1,000 every time you're wrong. We all set? Okay. This When Did Happen is called Vote for Me, That Other Guy Sucks. Well, we all know that Americans love political campaigns because it allows us to do what we do best. Make up slogans. Like, for instance, this classic, I like Ike. So how about it? Want to tell me if this Cold War era presidential campaign slogan was popular before I like Ike, after that one, or was it never a popular slogan at all? Okay, let's check it out. Okay, well, that was awful. Let's see what kind of damage you did to your overall score. Okay, now, where were we?
7.
The category's gonna be, that vitamin is the bomb. $3,000 for this one. And now, your question. If the B2 stealth bomber had the same properties as vitamin B2, what would be the best new name for it? The RIBOFLAVIN bomber, the THIAMINE bomber, the NIACIN bomber, or the folic acid bomber? Vitamin B2, it's also known as RIBOFLAVIN. Our first line of defense against the evil forces of respiratory problems.
8.
I'm calling this one, if trees organized a forest, would anybody hear? I'm gonna give away $3,000 this time. Forward march. If members of the John Birch Society decided to plant a society of birch trees, which of the following landscaping principles would they definitely not choose? A few trees get most of the soil's nutrients. All trees share the sun and soil equally. Birch trees are not placed near oaks or elms, or the tallest trees should be the happiest. All right, back in your cage, monkey child. You want to see what the smart money says? The John Birch Society is a group of ultra-right-wing anti-communists, so they would hate the idea of trees sharing the soil equally. But I wouldn't worry about those John Birch people. Their bark is a lot worse than their bite.
9.
This one's called Corpses That Sell Out. You get it right, I'm giving you $1,000. Man, I don't know what sickens me more. The fact that Gorbachev did a fast food commercial, or that commercials are using dead stars like Fred Astaire and John Wayne to sell products. Suppose you see a commercial using the famous image of Nikita Khrushchev banging something on a table during his UN speech. Whose product is Nikita most likely endorsing? Nike, Purdue, Jack Daniels, or Starbucks? Back in 1960, Khrushchev got all bent out of shape in front of the UN, and he started banging his shoe on a table. It was great.
We will bury you with these very cool and comfortable shoes.
10.
Coming at you, he put the cool in Cold War. You get it right, I'm putting you up $2,000. Hey, do you remember that MacArthur Park song where the guy gets all pissed off because somebody left his cake out in the rain and he lost the recipe? I can't say that I blame him, really. I'd be pissed off, too, if my cake got wet. Anywho, if Douglas MacArthur left a cake out during his reign as commander of the U.S. forces during World War II, where would he not have returned to find runny icing on the ground? Japan, China, Australia, or the Philippines? My extremely close personal friend, General Douglas MacArthur, led U.S. forces all over the South Pacific during World War II. But he never fought in China. Unless, of course, he finds out it was them who left his cake out in the rain. MacArthur's ass, moist and delicious. Well, I hope you're all rested up because you're about to take on a dis or dat. The name of this dis or dat is the Great Space Coaster Race. Now, I'm going to read off 7 space firsts, all right? And for each event, I want you to tell me if it's an American first or a Soviet first. As each one comes up, if it's an American first, press the square button. If it's a Soviet first, press the circle button. And hit the triangle to skip the ones you don't know. I'll give you $1,000 for each right answer, and I'll take away $1,000 for every wrong answer or for those that you didn't get to. Okay, you got 30 seconds. You ready? And we're off. First satellite to orbit the Earth was an American. First dog in space. First man to orbit the Earth. First woman to orbit the Earth. First man to walk in space. First probe to reach another planet. Last one. First manned spacecraft to land on the moon. Well, I don't know how you plan on putting a positive spin on this. Well, put that in your piggy bank. Let's get on with the game.
12.
Up next, Rockin' over Russia. You get this one, you pocket $2,000. See what you can do with this one. Based on the class of spy plane he flew, what band would you have expected Francis Gary Powers to be listening to on his infamous mission over the Soviet Union? The Eagles, U2, the B-52s, or Led Zeppelin? Hey, it looks like I'm gonna have to take some of your jukebox money! For the curious, here's the right answer. In 1960, the Soviet Union captured U.S. spy Francis Gary Powers after shooting down his, drumroll please, U-2 spy plane. And the worst part was that the U.S. government still didn't find what they were looking for.
13.
Here's a little something I call, nothing says democracy like a glass of cheap wine. You get it right, you get $2K. Hey, remember when the Berlin Wall came down and everybody celebrated the end of the Cold War? Everybody except those godless commies, of course. They were all upset. Anyway, suppose you celebrated the end of the Cold War with some cold duck in the home of that delicious drink. Where would you have lifted your glass? Poland, Czechoslovakia, Russia, or Germany? Trivia player goes down in flames tonight. Let me show you what I would have picked. Cold duck, originally from Germany, is a delicate mixture of champagne and burgundy. Goes great with cheese and quackers.
14.
The category is our new ambassador to the UN, Bozo. You give me a right answer, I'll give you $3,000. Get the wax out of your ears, it's question time. Suppose you become a clown. If you choose a name that is inspired by treaty organizations the United States has been involved with, which of these should you not pick? ATO, NATO, CETO, or CENTO? Nope, CETO was the Southeast Asia Treaty Organization. It's also what clowns sit on when they ride those tiny little tricycles. I love that. Here's the one the winners pick. ATO is a car. You know, those tiny little things you and 20 of your clown friends pile into and drive around in.
You've almost made it to the credits, but first, the attack. When you see 2 words that match, hit your buzzer. If you're right, you get $2,000. If you're wrong, you're losing $2,000. Oh, and one more thing to remember.
Remember the clue.
The 2 words that match have to fit this clue.
Yet another job for my fancy pants army knife, which of course I keep in my fancy pants. you were all over that attack. Let's see what you did to your score. That's the game. Hey, you were on the verge of having a really good game there. Must have forgotten who the hell you were for a minute. Just keep repeating this to yourself.
You don't know Jack!
Congratulations, you have managed to slide into an empty slot on the high scoreboard. Please enter your name. I am still waiting. Please enter a name before I choose one for you. Excellent. I have decided your name will be Swamp Wretch. If you are not averse to playing again, please tell me, and I will arrange another game.
Hey, remember last Tuesday? Doesn't seem that long ago, does it? Those crazy clothes? What were we thinking when we wore that? And the ridiculous hairstyles. I hope those never come back. Well, tune in to WTEU to enjoy the sweet sounds of that magical time. Last Tuesday, we listened to songs that really meant something by artists like Kid Rock, Britney Spears, and NSYNC. Sure, come Thursday and Friday, we really were kicking ourselves for ever listening to music like that. But now, we can look back and admit we loved them. So join us, won't you?
WTEU, all last Tuesday, all the time. Here at Wakefson and Snurm, we're working for you. We understand that service is what creates customer loyalty, and we're willing to stand on our heads to keep you coming back. In fact, we'll stand on our heads, then do cartwheels. We'll juggle. We'll ride unicycles. We'll ride unicycles while twirling plates on the ends of sticks. Anything to show you that you're number one. We'll wear funny hats. We'll cover ourselves in your choice of delicious ice cream toppings and light our hair on fire. We'll hire you a band. We'll repaint your house. We'll introduce you to Mr. Robert De Niro. We'll have attractive young people of your sexual preference hand feed you grapes and fan you.
Wakefson and Snurm, totally committed to serving you.
Mr. Johnson's time travel elixir can take you to the future.
Me?
Yes, you.
Really? How?
Just add water and drink. Try it.
Okay. It, doesn't seem to be working.
Ah, but just wait a moment. Okay, now look at the clock.
Oh my God, it's a miracle. I'm living 2 seconds in the future. This stuff really works.
Mr. Johnson's time travel elixir. This stuff really works.
Wait, how will I survive here in this crazy future? With my simple old-fashioned ways, I'll be killed.
I remember when Karen had just given birth to Emily. She was our third baby in 4 years, and I knew the responsibility was going to be immense. That's when I decided to visit National American Bank and Trust. I had problems, and they offered solutions. You see, my friend Larry works there as a janitor, and he loaned me $50 so I could buy a one-way bus ticket to Daytona and get a fake driver's license. Suddenly, my responsibilities vanished, and I was able to go back to visiting strip clubs. Thanks, National American.
Are you tired of Italian waiters always pushing the veal?
I'll take the spaghetti.
You should have tried the veal pazza!
Spaghetti.
Veal!
Spaghetti!
Veal!
Well, worry no longer. Thanks to the new book, 1001 Excuses Not to Order the Veal. This handy restaurant companion lists over 1,000 excuses to use when you don't want to order veal. Just listen.
I can't eat veal because I'm from Scandinavia.
I'd order the veal, but it causes my limbs to fall off.
Or come dressed as a calf and try the excuse.
How dare you? I'm not a cannibal.
So order 1001 Excuses Not to Order the Veal and have a pleasant veal-free meal the next time you dine out.
Excellent. I look forward to meeting the new players.